This is the Hustler's Corner.
Hey, what's up, world? This is DJ Sbu, straight out of Johannesburg in South Africa, and welcome to the Hustler's Corner. I'm not interviewing anyone today because we're all on lockdown. I just want to talk about a body of work. First, let's talk about a body. What is a body? A body is a body. I mean, if you looking at me right now, that's my soul talking to you. This is the temple that God has given me, and this is my body, right? So it's a body. So Google or go to Wikipedia, find out what is a body, right? A body, and then you look at the work. What is work? A body of work. A body of work means, I think I'll explain it in the most simplest terms. When you hear a musical artist say, my full body of work, what do they mean? What does an artist mean when they're talking about a full body of work? They're pretty much talking about having to go into the studio to go record an album, having to go and design the artwork for the first single, the second single, the third single, shooting the music videos, packaging the album, going out there, promoting the album. That's all it takes for you to put together this body of work. It doesn't only end in studio. You manufacture the product in studio, which means you create the work in studio as an artist, right? But you don't only create one song. You don't only create 3 songs. You don't only create 6 songs. This is not an EP. This is a full album. So we're talking about a minimum of about the minimum they do now. The person that I've seen with the least number of songs has been Kanye West in the recent years, with 7 songs on an album. Was it 7 or 9? I think it was 7. And then it was Jay-Z and his wife with 9 songs. And I've seen people, and then from there, less than 7 songs that say it's an EP. Even 7 songs or 8 songs that say it's an EP. A full body of work for me, an album starts at least from 10 songs. So when your favorite artist puts together a full 10-song album, 12 songs album, 14 songs, 16 songs album, that's a body of work. Because it's not just one single, it's not just one song. That artist had to work really hard to make that album work. I mean, I'm sure you've listened to different artists talk about their different stories. They travel, they go on tour to promote the album. They do press runs, they go to different radio stations promoting the album. They do different interviews. They post on their social media. They do appearances. They go to churches, they go to malls, they go to communities, they go to shows. And not all those shows pay them money. A lot of those shows, they know that they're benefiting all those crowds and they're getting all of the opportunity to create content when they go and perform in those shows. So not all those shows pay them. You go to all those shows to promote your work, especially when you still have new music to put out to the people. So to promote a full album, it might even take you more than a year. I know artists that'll spend over a year promoting the same album, even 2-3 years. For us to break Ntando, when I delve into my musical journey, shout outs to Ntando Bangani, wherever he is. For us to break, Ntando didn't break from his first album. Ntando broke on his second album. We had to work the first album. First single didn't catch. We're always with him on the road. And this is a person who's rolling with the biggest artist in the country at the time. That was Mzega Zega. And we were managing Mzega Zega's career with Brown Dash, myself, TK, and we're traveling with Ntando, and that'd be Mzega Zega. And we're piggybacking the new artist would ride on Mzega Zega's bars at the time. Imagine, Ntando couldn't break. With all that buzz that Mzega Zega had and the big crowds and the stages and all that media attention we had to work really hard. First single couldn't break. Dope album though, dope single, second single, third single. Ntando only broke on his second album. So that's just an example of a body of work, meaning a body of work, you put in work. It's all about your legacy. It's all about long term. It's not for now. Yes, I also started out in the industry looking at the now. But with time, I understood the importance of putting together a body of work. I think the industry now is better because we can release singles and get shows out of them, especially if you get lucky, you get a hit record. But apart from just musical artists, any human being, any person out there, you should be asking yourself that question. What is a body of work that I'm putting together? When I look at Theo Baloyi, he started Batu. That's a body of work. That's a body of work because that's a startup company. To get a startup company off the ground, let alone build a brand, is a lot of work. Ask me, I've built multiple brands. That's a body of work. When I look at Tsepo the Gene Maker, that's a body of work. That's a lifetime work. When you are 70 or 80 or 90 years old, may the late great Ntate Maponya rest in peace. When you're around that age, in your 99, 100 years old, you look back, those are some of the things that you're going to remember. Oh, I once started that company. I ran that company for 3 years, 4 years. I'm sure when you listen to your favorite entrepreneurs or people you look up to, that's how they speak. When they're in their 50s or 60s or 70s, they look back and say, yeah, I remember from this year until this year, I worked on this project and this was a successful project. This is what we did. All about a body of work. It's cool. You can release singles. You can do your cribs and chows. You can do your low-hanging fruits to pay the bills, to get things going, keep yourself busy, because you always gotta be busy, but you always gotta have a long-term vision. You're gonna have your midterm goals and you gotta have your short-term goals. So your short-term goals must be working towards bringing you to your midterm, to your eventually your long-term goals, your vision, your main big vision. So that's what pretty much what I want to talk about. Legacy, a body of work. Let's start thinking body of work every time when we are putting time to doing something. Don't do something, it doesn't work out, you give up on it, you start the next thing, it doesn't work out, you give up on it, you start on something, it doesn't work out. You've done 1,000 things, but you've never finished even one of them, and you don't have anything to show for it. So I want to encourage people out there, as much as we're thinking of now, because a lot of young people nowadays, they want microwave success. It's all about having the patience to put in work over a long period of time, because success does take time. They always say, make yourself a person of value and then you attract success by being the person that you become. But for you to become that person means you gotta be putting in work at a consistent basis. What are you putting work in? Is it a degree? Is it a diploma? Is it a BTech? Is it a PhD? Is it a book that you're writing? Is it an album that you're putting together? Is it a library next to your community? Is it a soccer team that you're putting together? Is it a park? Is it an app that you're building? Is it an early development center, a crash? What are you building that is a body of work that many years later you look back and be proud to have participated in it? Yes, business people, a lot of the times, they're all about starting businesses. They're all about getting themselves involved in projects that bring them money or millions. And that's how they gauge or they look at their bodies of work and how they build their legacies. You as a young person, whoever you are, start getting used to that type of mindset of working towards putting together a body of work, as opposed to cribs and chow, cribs and chow, cribs and chow. Cribs and chows are good, but let's think body of work, guys. When you look at me, you're looking at a man who has been putting in a lot of body of work. I have not made a lot of money in all of the things that I've done. I've failed in a lot of the things that I've done, but I'm really proud that I've been able to put together a body of work. So when you're talking albums, I've put together 7 albums. This year I'll be getting my 8th album. When you're talking about books, I've written 3 best-selling books. This year I'll be getting my 4th best-selling book. That's a body of work. Those are bodies of work, because one book, to make it a success or to even finish the book, it's a lot of work. It can take the whole year. As I'm currently writing my 4th book. I started writing it 2 weeks ago. I'll only be done towards the end of this year, but it'll be a full body of work that I've finished for you. It'll be a full musical album that I've finished for you. What is the full body of work that you are putting together?